no, not doing that. I'm just introducing. I'm just introducing. You could stand up there. Stand up. Good morning, everyone. My name is Virgin, and Virgin Prince, the daughter of Waldron Prince, and Noah, grandson, my son. We're going to get started with the tributes this morning first, before we start the Mass. And I'm going to call upon one of my dad's best friends, Claxton Shillingford, known as my Uncle Slappy, my godfather, to come up and say a few words.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Claxton Shillingford. One of Good afternoon. Oh, is it still morning? No, okay. My name is Claxton Shillingford. I'm supposed to be Waldron's one of his best friends. I've known Waldron since Ladies and gentlemen, I've had the pleasure of meeting Mr. Waldron Prince in 1955 when I went to Grand Farm to spend the summer holiday with another friend of mine, Mr. Glenworth Pear, who was the son of Iselin Pear, who was a telephone operator in the Rosalie estate. We had a wonderful time on one ways, and we spent a lot of time bathing in the river. We also caught Vio, Tata, and Domi. We had friends like Andy, Kolo, and Robson. We were also very fortunate in that we had a friend of ours, Robson, who was always in the river with us. And that day, we went to bathe, and fortunately, we found ourselves in the sea. We were not strong enough to swim back, and Robson pulled us out. That was a good time. There was one time that we didn't realize also, we have said that before, we were already in the sea and couldn't come back. I was with Waldron and Glenn here every summer. Like for years we were all together. Our friendship continued until after he left school and was working at LA Tupini for a while. We eventually migrated to Canada, and that's where we spent most of our time. My mother, Iselin Shillingford, Isabella Shillingford, Iselin Pierre, and his sister, Tazi, were also very good part of the bond. They are now deceased. We remained friends until the end, but we weren't going to give up it that easily. He was determined to take me along with him. When I came from Canada on Sunday, eventually, I don't know what happened, but I got myself sick and wound up at the hospital. That was a call he was telling me. Something happened, he wanted to carry me with him. We couldn't fight, but because I was so unlucky, I played the Lotto Canada 649 Ontario and never won anything. Therefore, there was no chance of me winning that prize. We had a lot of good times. He cooked, he and another friend of ours, which is called Kedo. That's why he learned to cook actually. We cooked a lot of unseasoned and white pork chops. But me as a student, I had no choice. I had to take it. I had to keep my head afloat, so I had to take whatever they gave me. Okay. We were very close. I was a wedding. He was at my wedding, and I was at his wedding. He is the godfather of my son, Michael Chillingford. I'm also the godfather of his daughter, Rosie. That's how close we are. But not that way, I didn't agree with him. We have been quite well. In fact, every time we had an argument, he would tell me, "Uto son, no pasa fashion." That's how we, and that's how we continue until we were very good friends. I'm pleased to be able to say something about it. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. So before I share the tribute, first of all, my name is Natasha Williams, and I am the daughter of Uncle Prince's best friend, Cluster Williams. But before I share my tribute, I would like to read a verse from Matthew 5:16. Let your light so shine before others that they may see your good works and glorify your Father in heaven. When I think of Mr. Waldron John Prince, or Uncle Prince, as myself and my sister Marisha called him, I cannot think of a more fitting scripture. His light shone brightly through the kindness he showed, the lives he touched, and the love he freely gave to everyone around him. When I think of him, many words come to mind: generous, funny, humble, dependable, but above all else, he was a man who genuinely cared about people. For our family, he was much more than my father's best friend. He was also like a second father to me. My father and Uncle Prince shared a friendship that lasted for decades, but on loyalty, respect, and love. And when my father passed away in 2021, many people reached out to us. But Uncle Prince didn't just reach out once, he continued to be there. He checked in on my sister and myself, making sure we were doing okay. He remained a constant reminder that my father's love, friendship, and continued to surround us through the people he cherished most. When I traveled here to Dominica shortly after my father's passing, he would visit me several times while I was in quarantine. This was during the pandemic. My father had trusted him with his final documents, and Uncle Prince not only made sure that I had my father's documents, but that I was all right and taken care of during quarantine. He would come every day, come to make sure that I ate well, even though we had to social distance. I would be on top of a balcony and he would look down and say, hello, how are you doing? He would always check up on me. That is something I will never forget. One of my favorite memories go back many years when Uncle Prince was in Canada and he owned a driving school. Like so many others, my sister and I had the privilege of learning to drive with him. My dad trusted him. Looking back now, it seems so fitting. He wasn't just teaching us how to operate a car. He was helping us gain confidence and independence. He had a gift for teaching, encouraging, and making people believe they could do things that we never thought possible. Then there's the memory that has just become even more precious since his passing. In June of last year, my sister, my niece, and I had the opportunity to spend the day with him. What a beautiful gift that day turned out to be. He picked us up and he proudly drove us around the island, sharing stories, pointing out places, laughing, and making us feel completely at home. Then he took us to what he always jokingly called his beach. I can't even remember the name of the beach right now, but Bell what? Bell Hall, yes. That was lovingly his beach. So he had to take us to his beach. And every time he said it, he smiled as if he truly owned the place. We spent hours there talking, laughing, enjoying the sea breeze, and simply enjoying each other's company. Afterwards, true to his generous spirit, he insisted on taking us out to lunch. None of us knew that this would be our last day together. Today, when I think back on that day, I don't remember sadness. I remember laughter, I remember his smile, I remember his humor, I remember how proud he was to show us around Dominica, that he loved so much. And I remember how much he cared for us. That day has become one of our family's greatest blessings because God gave us one final opportunity to make another beautiful memory with him. Uncle Prince lived a life of generosity. He gave his time, his wisdom, his friendship, his laughter, and his heart. He never made kindness look difficult. It simply came naturally to him. People often say that a person's true wealth is measured not by what they owned, but by the number of lives they've touched. And if that's true, then Uncle Prince was an incredibly wealthy man. On behalf of my sister, Marisha, and our entire family, I want to thank you. Thank you, Uncle Prince, for being such a faithful friend to our father. Thank you for loving us as though we were your own family. Thank you for checking up on us after my dad was gone. Thank you for giving us memories that we will cherish for the rest of our lives. Although our hearts are heavy today, we are also filled with gratitude because we were blessed to know you. Rest peacefully, our dear Uncle Prince. You have finished your journey well. May God grant you eternal rest, and may your beautiful legacy of kindness, generosity, friendship, and love continue to live on in all of us. I also have no doubt that if friendships continue in heaven, that you and my dad have already found each other again. Rest well, both of you, until we meet again. Thank you. So next we have another tribute that I would like to read on behalf of Wilfred and Fern Dixon. I've known Waldron uncle for more than 40 years. I first met the family while dating his niece Fern. I was always made to feel welcome when visiting, and on many occasions was offered a meal as he seemed to be doing something in the kitchen. For a long time, I wasn't really hungry, and I told him I was good, to which I would get the story of someone he knew that always refused to eat while visiting his girlfriend, like he making style. This went on for quite some time. However, one day I was really hungry and was offered some food. Apparently there was not enough food around, and I ended up eating his dinner. Well, after that, I don't have to tell you, I was never offered food again. Over the years, we became good friends, had a great relationship, and played dominoes with friends on Friday nights until he retired and came back to Dominica. For those who knew him, he always had something to say about everything, so you could imagine the domino games when someone gets six love. I saw Uncle